Diplomat. We're gonna rewind this, and we actually get to untap 4 lands, so they're totally spent. And we still have access to our shark, which is like a lot of fun. So we could either mutate onto the Vandal, or we could flash block, but I don't really want to flash block. So let's mutate. We're gonna spread our jelly.
In today's show, we'll be taking a close look at this mysterious creature.
Shark, shark, shark. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we're playing a mono blue tempo-based shark deck within Mythic rank, holding a win rate of 75%, going 6-2, so, very positive results, and the deck feels very nice, and I think I even threw one of the matches with a few misplays. You'll have to let me know in the comments below. So if you're unfamiliar with any of the deck archetypes, tempo signifies the combination of aggro elements with control elements. So we have the low CMC creatures, or converted mana cost creatures, with flash, which is really nice, and a key component that we'll discuss in a moment. And again, combining those cheap creatures with also cheap control elements. In this case, counter creature spells, counter non-creature spells, even bouncing our opponent's permanents back to their hand will do. So, just trying to keep our creatures on the board, keep them alive, protect them, and have them be able to attack every turn. That's going to be your main strategy. Of course, if you're not into the deck deep dive, which will start in a few moments, you can use the chapter function to skip right to the gameplay. If you do so, please like the video and subscribe on your way. Of course not, if you find any value along this video, I encourage you to do the same. Let's get right into mono blue sharks, or aka mono blue tempo. We have no 1-drops, which is very odd for a tempo deck, but where this comes full circle is because we only have 18 lands. That's relatively light, even in a best of 1 match, but we have plenty of MDFCs. However, the MDFCs are only good mid to late game when you can play them as, the actual spell. And they're very poor early game if you're playing an aggro or a tempo style deck. For this reason, we're running low lands and we're not running a lot of 1-drops. And in this case, any 1-drops. This allows us to play our MDFC lands out of our opening hand on turn 1. And now, it's not any really negative consequence to us. With that being said, rest in peace, the Sailor, right? Spectral Sailor, I believe. That was the best tempo blue card that we had in a while. And unfortunately, we don't have a 1-drop blue flash flyer. We do have a couple other cards to take its place, though. So, we're going to begin to break down the deck list here. So let's start off with all of our creatures. First off, we have Faerie Vandal. This is a 2 CMC creature with flash and flying. So, of course, our main objective is to hold up our mana. If our opponent doesn't play anything that's a threat that we need to counter, that means we can go ahead and play a creature in. Flash flying for 2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Faerie Vandal. A big component of a tempo deck is being able to replenish your hand. So we need forms of passive draw that's not going to consistently burn through our mana every turn, because we need to be holding our mana for disruption and for our flash creatures. So the drawing of cards is going to happen through a few other components. The first is our Sea-Dasher Octopus. This is a 2/2 with flash. So again, we can be playing this on our opponent's end step for 3. If we mutate it onto another creature we control that needs to be non-human, and don't worry, there's no humans in the deck, so just any other creature within the deck you can mutate the octopus onto. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So that's the form of passive draw that we're talking about. Yes, you do have to spend mana on it initially, but it has flash, so your opponent should be tapped out on their end step, and you should be able to play this, without any threat of it being removed. Of course, if your opponent isn't tapped and they hold removal that you think, you're going to want to protect it with a negate, so probably not playing it until you have 4 available mana. But again, If we can mutate this onto our Vandal, not only are we drawing a card, but we're also getting a +1/+1 counter on each of our Vandals. So, you know, the draw engines are very important. We do have some more casual draw that's not going to consistently put out for us each turn. The Shark Typhoon, we can cycle. This will, you know, put the Shark Typhoon into the graveyard and we get to pull off the top of our library. So we could do this at sorcery speed to trigger our Faerie Vandal. I don't necessarily recommend that. One of the greatest things about Shark Typhoon is that you can do the cycle at instant speed and grab the flash blocker or put the shark out, you know, on your opponent's end step so it can attack right away. However, it is an option to draw your second card each turn. And of course, the rest of the Shark Typhoon entails that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. You do have to, of course, have the Shark Typhoon in play for 6 first, so that's going to be an end game situation, and we don't focus on that at all. This card is basically here just to cycle, looking for another counter spell while creating a shark for us. So one way to draw cards is the Shark Typhoon. We also have Omen of the Sea for 2 with flash. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2, then draw a card. We can pay 3 to sack it and scry for an additional 2. Another passive way to be drawing cards to play counters on your Faerie Vandal. You know, it's nothing much. And of course, the Silundi Vision and the Isle. The Isle comes in tapped, adds blue to our pool. And at instant speed for 3, looking at the top 6 cards of our library and revealing an instant or sorcery card from among them, putting it into our hand, and then the rest on the bottom of our library in random order. This becomes extremely valuable mid to late game when we're running a tempo deck, because tempo relies on drawing counters each turn. So, you know, your creature or, you know, whatever the Sea-Dasher Octopus is on survives, and then we can continue that whole process of getting another attack in, getting another draw in, and hopefully drawing some more counter magic there. So the Vision is great because we can cast it at instant speed on their end step to pull a counter. If they have removal and we don't have a counter, boom, Vision can go on the stack. We can go for a dig and try to pull a counter out that way. So the Vision is not only a draw engine that could tag off the Faerie Vandal's ability, but it also is really good for protecting your creatures as well. With that all out of the way, we do have a few other creatures. The Brazen Borrower, 4 copies of this as a 3 CMC. It has flash and flying, is a 3/1, and can only block other creatures with flying. This is great, you know, if you have spare mana and you don't need protection, you can flash this in, and it's just applying that tempo that we want to take our opponent's health points down from 20 to 0 as fast as we can. It also has the Disruption here within Petty Theft at instant speed for 2, returning target non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So whether it's a creature, an enchantment, basically just bounce whatever they play, putting it back to their hand, as long as it's not got a nasty ETB effect or enter the battlefield effect, like fight a creature. So you don't want to be losing advantage. But if you can make them re-spend their mana every turn on the same card, that's going to be really good and give you enough room to get in and close the game out with your tempo style deck. We have a single copy of the Nadir Kraken for 3. It is a 2/3, and whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on the Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle. Maya is going wild today. We're gonna have to get her on the show here real quick, just so you know what that noise is in the background. So 1 copy of the Kraken, you know, it doesn't have flash. It's a 3-drop. You have to basically have 5 to protect it. But if you can consistently make the tentacles every turn, that's great. It also gives you creatures to mutate onto quite easily with your Sea-Dasher Octopus, and of course with your last creature, the Pouncing Shoreshark, which is one of the main components of the deck. This is a 4/3 with flash, mutate for 4, of course a 5-drop normally, and whenever this creature mutates, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Again, if we have tentacles, we can mutate onto the tentacles, we can mutate onto the octopus, the borrower, and even the Faerie Vandal. So we have a few targets to mutate onto, and of course we can even just play it as its own creature, which is quite nice. In my opinion, the Shoreshark is very underrated. I miss Teferi 3, you know, this reminds me a little bit of that. We don't get to bounce anything, but, you know, bouncing something that our opponent controls is really quite nice. When combined with our Sea-Dasher Octopus's ability, of needing to deal combat damage to draw a card. So, you know, if we can get our Octopus on a flyer and then bounce anything that had reach, anything else that had flying, it makes it much easier to consistently get combat damage in with your Octopus for the draw, helping you, you know, get more counter spells, more protection, whatever it happens to be, to push your opponent out tempo style. So those are all of our creatures. Now let's talk about the protection. We have 4 copies of Essence Scatter for 2 instant speed, countering target creature spell. 2 copies of Jwari's Disruption for 2 counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. The Ruins is on the opposing side. Like I said, you know, you can play this if it's in your opening hand. You can also hold it. The Disruption kind of goes both ways. If you don't have a counter spell, you may want to hold it. If you do have other counter spells, you'll probably play it as a land. 4 copies of Negate, instant speed for 2, countering target non-creature spell. 4 copies of Omen of the Sea. We talked about this already with Flash, allowing us to scry and draw a card, you know, getting us to the negates, getting us to the scatters. And we have 3 copies of Rewind at instant speed for 4 to counter target spell, untapping 4 lands in the process, which is really good because lots of our other cards have Flash or are instant speed. So if we can have them spend their mana, we counter them, untap all of our mana. You know, now we can play our Octopuses when they're tapped out. We can cycle a Shark Typhoon if we want, Omens of the Seas, whatever it happens to be. It's basically like a free counter because you get that 4 mana back. Yes, you do have to have the resources available to cast it, but once you do, that free 4 mana is going to be enough to offset the scales in your favor. Again, the Shark Typhoon creates sharks. It can also draw you into your counters, which is really nice, and push up your Faerie Vandal if you want. So that's the deck list. We've got 3 Castle Vantresses and 15 lands. Very light in the land, again, because of all the MDFCs. We really only need to hit 4 lands. 5 land and 6 land is kind of cheesing it. But again, the deck can go there if you want. Tempo is great. One of my favorites archetypes. Merging control and aggro together. A lot of fun. And, you know, also drawing cards is really good. I try to build most of the decks with some form of draw in them because, you know, burning your hand out is never ideal, and some of these control decks are willing to go the distance with you. So it's really good to be able to, you know, keep up alongside them while applying consistent pressure that they have to deal with. With that all out of the way, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, and subscribe for even more content. If you want to support the channel, you can become a YouTube member and gain access to exclusive content. With that all being said, enjoy today's video, you guys. We'll be back in a few moments with our wrap-up thoughts. So the hand's not perfect, but it's not that bad. Somewhere in the middle. Witching Well. If we draw a land, we can go ahead. If not, we might get this out of the way, because our hand's pretty heavy. It doesn't really start until 3. And we have no 1-drop, so it makes sense. Silundi Vision in play. One of my favorite blue MDFCs. Instant speed for 3, so if it's not a land, you know, typically you're countering or playing on your opponent's turn with blue mana. So you can easily just hold it up and draw some cards on your end step, which is always fun. So we have a counter here. We can also flash in a creature, which is really nice. Both Negate and Disruption available. I'm going to use Disruption first because of the mana requirement. And even here, the tome's probably not worth countering. So let's just play our creature. I mean, it is really good for them, but I'm not in a tournament here. It's low percentage Mythic. Trying to relax, enjoy some new decks. Try not to play against rogues every match. Even though I looked at it yesterday and it's only like 7% of the meta or something, Dimir rogues. So, you know, we're all complaining. Our opponent thinks I'm playing Dimir rogues, just a poor version of it probably. Trying to push mono blue tempo. Shark Nation. Ooh, another negate. Interesting. The negate could be better than we think it is against this deck, because if they're playing stuff like Witching Well, like the Maze Mine Tome, there's a good chance they're not playing creatures alongside those other cards, right? Let's shrink myself down a little bit here so we can see the rest of our hand. So ending our turn, our opponent can go. We have mana to counter. If there's nothing going on, we can flash our Octopus in. But again, this is pretty risky until we can protect it with a Negate, because there's instant speed removal, right? Which means we have to have 2 mana on top of our Octopus. So this can just be a Negate. I'm assuming there's something else going on, though, with that 2 mana. They can draw a card with the Tome. Probably doing that on our end step, though. Oh, right now they go for it. So they're tapped, which is good news for us. And we can't protect it. Well, I mean, we can. So we have to play the land just to basically keep our curve progressing. If we don't have to negate, we can cycle a Typhoon, but even that spends our mana and then they could remove us, so we won't do that either. Awkward position. We might just push this in as a creature, but then they could have Storm's Wrath. The event only hits one of them, so that's not the worst, though. Is it worth countering? Probably. I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. I'm sure there's removal on top of it. No, taking a draw. That Tome could be our downfall. For all I know. Our only counter here is our Rewind. So that's always nice to hit at 4. And when we counter, it actually untaps our mana. So they have to have instant speed to kill our creature on the stack while our mana's tapped before the Rewind trigger goes off, untapping our mana. So if there's any sorcery removal, it needs to be used first, and then that will leave their instant speed removal open to be used on the stack once I Rewind. Alright, trying to break down both sides of the play here. Passage is whatever. I think we just countered the heck out of that. We get our lands back, which is great. They can take another draw. They gain 4 life, but now the Tome's finally gone. All of their mana is also untapped, and this is their turn. So they should be leaving this mana untapped and doing this on our end step, so I think that there's interaction, because now we know that we're safe to progress for the turn. There's nothing going on, right? They're totally tapped, which means mutate onto the Vandal, please. Over top. Omen of Sea for the scry and draw, setting up our next turn. 2 islands can... 1 island can stay. This Shark Typhoon is going to lead us to victory. Oh, and we pull a 3rd underneath of it. Oh, we should have tossed them both. Gross. Let's see what we pull here. Right, we do get a free draw. We need a counter magic. Not really. Oh, gosh. We're not drawing 2 cards with the Typhoon. We could cycle it for 3. Sorry about that. Let me silence my phone. I hear that right through my headphones. Woof. Sorry about your speakers. I'm trying to dial in my sound as well, you guys. If you have any comments about my sound quality, please leave them down below. So are they not going to do anything? I'm only going to cycle this for 1. It leaves 2 mana open. They think we have a counter. Right? Or else, you know, why wouldn't you cycle for a higher amount unless you had a counter? The only thing it leaves up is a Petty Theft, but they're on their end step, so unless it's a flash creature that they play out of turn, we'll be fine. And this way there's a chance for us to draw a counter spell. They need to try to remove it before we draw. But as far as they're concerned, we have the counter for it, so they shouldn't lose it. And they just wipe the token. Does cycle count as a draw? Cycling. It does, so we could draw here. And that should trigger the octopus, because it's our second draw this turn. Both of these cards are super awkward, but they're both pretty good, but neither of them are counter spells. And I think we just need some hard counters at this point. So we do get our counter there, and we pull another shark. It's like we can't get away from them. Castle Vantress is online now for us as well. We hit for 4. Drawing a card, going to 5. Vision's a really nice draw, so let's just hold the phone here. We've got these sharks ready to pounce, baby. That's going to be nice. One of my favorite cards in a while, Pouncing Shoreshark. 4/3 with flash that also opens your attacking lane. So the Witching Well I'm not worried about. Scry 2's great, sure. It's a good thing it's only a 1-drop, because Omen of the Sea is far better. Into a tome. Again, I don't think I care. We have to prioritize all of our removal, or counter magic or disruption on their removal. Let's go for a little digsies. Looking at the top 6, getting to pull an instant or sorcery. I'm glad we're getting rid of these lands. Another counter creature, which isn't great. Feels silly not playing this. Let's pretend like there was a counter spell in our hand still, though. And we have plenty of mana, so let's get this Vandal in play. Just because when we attack with the Sea-Dasher, this Vandal will get a +1/+1 as well, and that's relatively beneficial when they've got things that deal 2 damage to all of our creatures. We hold on to the sharks and the Brazen Borrower as long as we can, and we'll use them only for lethal damage with flash, right? We get another draw here, which is... Oh, and it's a negate. We're set up for life. This is GG's. Not even Ugin will stop us now. Right? They're taking their draws. We end our turn. We have a 6/6 and a 2/3. That is hefty. Oh gosh. Is there a counterspell on top of our negate? Oh! We sharked ourselves, you guys. Spends the majority of their mana, though. We should have just flashed in the Borrower for the kill on it.
Here, deep below, lie succulent horrors.
It's annoying, and I hate it. Essence Scatter can go. I don't think there's any creatures to be nervous about. We should have just flashed in aggro.
Your heroics are but a dream.
But then they would have countered our creature. It's not enough, though. Power of the shark continues. We go first. I like it. Hand is super awkward. What if they're not a creature deck? Then we're hosed. So we have to mulligan. It just seems way too risky. This I like quite a bit better. We can throw in a negate. Typically one negate is good, and if we can get this disruption used early on, that'll be alright. Now we're just looking for... Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Go crabs. Are you serious? They're greedy. They were greedy and they get punished. They wanted to play the land on top of both crabs. Greedy guts always get punished. It was a double mill as well. Nice. Baloosh. Watch them beat us still with just one crab. It's annoying, and I hate it. They're playing Dimir as well, which is also ultra annoying. We can flash in a Vandal and then Shoreshark on top of it for the bounce. We also probably just want to do this instant speed for the block, right? Sploosh. So they can cast something with flash for 2 that's only 1. Alright, let's get our Vandal in play. Land. We have a negate to protect the Vandal, so at a certain point in every shark's life, you just have to decide to go for it. The Sea-Dasher Shark is got some deformities. Lots of people think of it as an octopus, but this is incorrect. It's a shark. Don't be mistaken. Crab for the mill, just like letting her rip. Taking a rewind, so that's a really good card against this matchup. Dimir Flash. Annoying, and I hate it. What they could have is a Pouncing Shoreshark of their own, and that will make me sick to my stomach. Or just a Rankle. Nice. I was not expecting this. Rankle doesn't have... Oh, no. It's got haste, not flash. You dog. You dog! We need to deal with creatures. We should have kept that first hand. It would have been gold. Didn't want to risk it, though. There's so much control out right now. I like when it's spread and you've got a little of each in your hand. That's ideal. Yeah, Oof. Oof. We can flash block Rankle for the kill if they don't counter it. Unpleasant. Well, we have to take that. Now we're down to pushing Rankle back to their hand. So we're not taking any damage. Still worried sick. Oh, nice top deck. The crab is still annoying. One crab, we're down to 28. Oh! Even more reason we should be running Magic Mirror, I guess, right? It's a Fable Passage, too. How they've not dealt with this card is beyond me. Thickening, in fact. They just cast a creature with Flash on their main phase. Something they can easily replay, but... we need to really save that. We may want to Omen and try to pull a counter. If we pull a land, I'm going to be sad we didn't do this on our main phase. Both of these can go. Essence capture, essence capture, essence capture. Ooh, and we do get burned. So just reset it. Oh, we do find our way to it. Down to 19 cards. This freaking crab, man. And it's like so unworthwhile to deal. It's good, we still can borrow. And we can shark. We have very few turns to complete this mission. Right? We're low on life. Not really, low on cards. Let's see what happens here. Well, that's actually pretty good. We have 5. We could cycle this for 1 to try to pull a counter spell, which is at 0%. I think we still do that though, because then we mutate onto the baby shark with the bigger shark. But then we may as well cast. No, it should be cast for 1 actually. That's correct. Let's see what we pull. More land. Come on, man. Showing them everything but freaking Fable Passage. They're gonna take it too. They're like, what's that one card? If you show it to them, they'll snap keep it, so you have to hide it. Oh, we did fake them out there. Oh, the mill sucks, but it's better than 6. Removal on Baby Shark? No! And we don't really even want to be drawing with the octopus. We have 6. It's gonna be very awkward. Nice. That's real good. Main phase, though. I'm sure they're just looking for something specific. All you need to do is make a blue and black deck. 4 rune crabs in it, 4 fable passages. Let it rip. The rest is up to you. We're gonna take it. Risk it for the biscuit. I hope they make us sack here. And we're gonna flash the octopus in and sack it. They lose a shark. Sorry, which I allow this to resolve. Oh, we need to be in full control. Shoot, we should have done that first. They all go at once. It's not one at a time. You fool. This was sad. Oh no, we should have attacked with the octopus and then flashed the shark on for the kill. Oh, 2 misplays in a row, you guys. Oh no, we should have tried to attack the octopus. And flashed it for 2. Dang it. We're playing too slow, too defensively. I hate this mill. We're probably dead this turn. We're down to 5 cards. We need to deal 7 damage. They kicked it even. Jwari Disruption is less useful than I'd like it to be. Yes, I understand. Get your Fable Passage now. Show them their Ugin. Some people. I mean, they're working on the deck. It's not complete, obviously. They're doing really well with what they have. Where does this go now? Okay. Don't have flying though. Right, we lost our borrower, which is how we were going to get the damage in before. But now, it's like really, really awkward. We bounce Atris and force them to block with the crab. Even though they can just mill us and win. So we made a couple misplays and we still got really close, right? A couple misplays and we still got real close. If only we could negate their land. We will get to draw the shark here though. But again, it still will not help us. Right, because we have a mill 6 coming our way. Which is so very sad. If we had a counter creature spell, we could bounce the crab and then counter the creature. But all we have is one Omen left. So that's not happening with the disruption when they have all of this land. There's a way out. We didn't get there though today. A few little misplays that we found. And, so very sad. So very sad indeed. Game. Rogue player. This is how rogue players are. Just kidding. That's what we are today. Shark Nation, baby. I think we have a relatively good matchup against rogues here. They still have that Heartless Act, which is pretty gross. The negates protect us from it. They're going to try to go for it, I think. They're going to force us into another negate, right? And then they're going to have us sack because we can't bounce Rankle. Very aggressive. And they have the 1 mana steal. Somehow, they always have. Oh, this is so sad. Because then we have to self-sack with Rankle, so... You know. But yeah. Good game. I mean, there's no way out for us here, but... You know. LOL. I like this hand quite a bit. I mean, it's light on land, but we're going to get there. Our opponent goes first. That's the only bad thing. May need Stern Dismissal or something if 1-drop aggros are becoming a problem. Excuse me while I enjoy this delicious puff wheat square. Hey, as long as it's not a crab, right? Looks like they're looking for a land, maybe? don't get it, so they have to drop their passage. The ant colors that we're going up against here now. We need our 4th land as soon as possible. Nice. Sorry with the full mouth. We mutate onto our Vandal. There's no way they've got removal for 1. Into dust. Interesting. So they had removal for 2 potentially. Oh, sorry. I thought this was based on your devotion. That's just 1 mana of any color. That's pretty good. We basically win here, though. I'm pretty sure. We can pick up a land, that is. Come on, man. They have 4 mana available. Let's risk it for the biscuit. I'm pretty sure they're going to remove our octopus here, because we only have 1 mana left. Right, we need to be holding up this negate, but... Called it. Let's see if we pull our 4th land or not. Where is it? We have a chance to pick it up here. There it is. So we are being greedy, but we recovered. Easy. Sorry about eating while we record here. Got the munchies bad. It's one of those days. Gotta consume all the leftover goodies from my birthday extravaganza, which of course was celebrated alone. No, not really. We had our community there all day, which was great. Lots of support from the other creators as well. Pretty cool. We're trying to go full out shark here. Let's counter this negate. They still have 3 mana. We get it. So if they control a legendary enchantment or a demigod, god or demigod, which is cool. It's pretty passive life gain, but oh, they're gonna just try to kill our flyer again. They're tapped though, so you know we do have a rewind. It's not quite a land, but I think I'll still play it as one. Just because we have such a full hand already, we don't really need to draw. Definitely playing this as a land. Right, we pull a second, so no foul. We've double rewinds, which is like a lot of just spare mana chilling. I'm sure we can Shark Typhoon in the middle. So they need the Pantheon probably for 2 colors of mana, I bet. They need it for both the red removal and probably black removal, and they don't get it. And easy peasy, a lemon squeezy! We go first, 3 lands. I think that's almost as many lands as we've seen all last game. Okay, we get to go here. Passing our turn. We've got a turn 3 Shark Typhoon. Turn 2 Vandal. I think we're probably just going to have to use a Essence Scatter here. Let's see what the drop is, though. You know, thinking about it, we probably will actually let the creature hit, keep the Scatter for later, play a Vandal, and then bounce their creature. It's not even a creature. So we're in with our Faerie Vandal then. So this Essence Scatter might be a dead card. We'll have to see. That's kind of how the situation goes. We could incorporate some form of discard. That would be ideal if we had a discard for draw function. That we could always be discarding either our negates or our scatters, depending on which one we didn't need. I still think we just hold up this other Vandal. Yes, we could Shark Typhoon, put it to 2/3, but that leaves us open for removal, and they know that. And it comes down to just like kind of leaving your mana open so they think you've got stuff. Because they're going to be their own worst enemy. And then, you know, in the times where they're not, then they're going to try to just burn through you, and sometimes that just is even better. Well, that's all their last mana, so... I'm gonna let it hit. Again, we're just gonna hold on to this. Turn again. What's another Vandal? I want to cycle the Shark Typhoon pretty bad, but we don't pull a land, of course. We're asking for it if we Sea-Dasher. You know there's removal there, so let's just play it safe. We definitely should have cycled the Typhoon for a confirmed land drop rather than playing the Fairy. I was being greedy, though. I'm sorry. Maybe they spent their mana, and we get to just play the Sea-Dasher, right? That's our best case here. They're up to 4. They have a wipe available, but why wipe a Hallowed Priest when you worked so hard to get it in play? Interesting. So it's only whenever it attacks. I'm going to leave that there still. I'm going to Revitalize. So that's fine. That's going to be their turn. Hallowed Priest goes up to a 3/3. Right, so we do see a little bit of a hit. But now there's mana's totally tapped. We can mutate to our Vandal. Over top. And this is going to be our engine. So we just need to protect this from here out. If we get that 4th land, Rewind's online, which is great. And we have the Shark available as well. We get a draw, we get a +1 on each creature. Disruption could be useful. We've seen that be lackluster so far in these matchups. We're at 17 life. They're at 19, so if they can keep gaining life, they're in a good position. Diplomat. we're going to rewind this, and we actually get to untap 4 lands, so they're totally spent. And we still have access to our shark, which is like a lot of fun. So we could either mutate onto the Vandal, or we could flash block, but I don't really want to flash block. So let's mutate. We're going to spread our jelly on these shark-style donuts. And we're bouncing the Hollowed Priest. Bingo bango bongo. It's the same shark, I'm telling you guys. We'll take action here. Hit for 2 is fine. Now it's our turn. We get a massive hit in, and we still have some form of protection. You know, I don't hold Jwari's Disruption in too high of esteem, but that's alright. We get another land. Getting closer to our Shark Typhoon. Even more sharks. Their main phase. Land and play. That puts them to 6. The Claw. I mean, this Essence Scatter does nicely there. They're fully tapped as well. Again, the Disruption would not have been useful. It's silly how bad that card can be sometimes. In theory, it's good, better than a land. Right? That's all we need to remember. Another Typhoon. Let's take our big old swing, which is almost for lethal. They've got 1 life left. And we can close the game off here by drawing first. We can just pay 0 for it. Right, not spending any of our mana. The draw pushes up the other 2, and that's lethal. Woo! Shark, shark, shark! That's a lot of sharks for 1 hand. We go first. Oh my lord. Can we just play this first, actually? I think we will. Let's play slow with the Vision, and then just start cycling these Typhoons. I think the sharks have flash because they're so quick, right? How come there's no dolphins? Aren't dolphins incredibly fast as well? I mean, no matchup in a battle against a shark, I don't think. Look at those chompers, but it could have like scry abilities, you know, like echolocation. It's not echolocation though, it's like sonar. Whatever echolocation is in the water. Which again, it's just sonar. But I think that could be like a scry-based ability, or maybe a draw-based ability. And sharks should have like, even the bounce ability. I expect a shark to have like a fight effect, like Wicked Wolf. We want a shark that just bites the heck out of something. Sharks are scared of dolphins? Oh my gosh. Dolphins could have protection from sharks? Let's take the Omen here first. A little higher value. 2 scries is better than 1. Thinking, brah. Ah, the Negate is exactly what I was thinking, actually. Pass our turn. The hard decision. It's the control variant, so we're looking at Ashiok here. This is one of the grosser decks to face, right? The Shoreshark's useless unless used as an attacker. And that's one of the keys to make that distinguishment right out of the gate. One thing that could be used with the Shoreshark, we could bounce the Ashiok tokens. We could bounce the Crawling Baron at flash speed once it gets pushed to the field, right? There is a difference between sonar and echolocation. One's biological and one's mechanical. So dolphins then have echolocation, not sonar. I thought maybe we just like copied it. So yeah, sonar would be like mechanical version of it. Same thing, just biology or machine. All right, let's cycle this for one. Bleep bloop blop. That's probably exactly what they're thinking, right? Another negate. I'm interested. We're going to be flashing the shark in as an attacker, I think. We want to have a few creatures in play to pull the removal, but not too many to fold to an extinction event. Dolphins are the velociraptor of the ocean. Yeah, baby. Let's start a petition and send it into Wizards. We appreciate the sharks, but dolphins need a day too. We're straight up getting roped because we said that we were thinking when we were looking at our scry. Nice, brah. Anyone who ropes me is going to get themselves a hello good game. End turn. We do have 4 mana up, which is pretty fun. I'd love to pull a couple rewinds. Are they not dropping lands and this is how they choose to live their life? No, they're here. They're looking at Yorion. There's a land. I'm sure we'll find another rope here. Mataja. Nice. Hello. Good game. I wish I could put this up on their screen. And just loop it for as long as they rope us, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope they see this. Nice. So it's always funny how the impatient person is always the person who is then again at fault for what should be the impatience of others. But, you know, I don't care. I have fun with it. It's fine. Time for diary minutes. But I find that lots. It's like, that's what happens. Did they just tap their mana? And now I know they don't have counters? Okay. Oh, we don't have enough mana. Shit. Let's cycle this. 2. I always forget that the Pouncing Shoreshark's flash cost is cheaper. It seems like it should be equal. So they're tapped for no reason. Just for the fun of it. Let's take the hit here for 3. Ending our turn. There go. Gross. Give him the too fast. Oh my lord. Everybody grab a leg and go to bed. What a gentleman. Mahatja. Thank you for existing. If it were not for people like you, I wouldn't be able to have such a good time. Right? We do have to live in balance, and for every happy person, there is an angry one, so... You know, my thoughts are with you, my friend, and hopefully you can jump over to this side of the fence at some point if you so choose. Oh! It's our priority. We're still sitting on 4, so it's like... They have their mana open here, so I'm actually just gonna take our turn. They're discarding even, that's great. 3 negates is absolutely amazing against a control deck. So as long as we can hold those up, I think we can just like basically do what they're doing to us, and just drop the Essence Scatter in the discard pile. I'm actually a newer citizen to Sodium City. The mayor graciously accepted me the other day, which was really cool. So, I'm totally fine with this. I love it. This is how we thrive, baby, right? Every roped match is a win, in my opinion. Right? Because typically, if you can have someone in that mindset, it's going to be easier to beat them based on their poor decision making. Tossing our scatter. And even though we're not doing anything because they've got open mana now, not cheesing it like the first time, it's fine. Let's give them a heart. I feel like they need some love, and we'll just make sure they know who we are. In my opinion, BMing is what makes these games great. Some people think it's so offensive, but like they've gone out of their way to make sure that they're like super friendly. The most aggressive thing you can say is your go or nice, right? I like the Gnarlids. Right? Oh gosh. You just have fun with it, right? It just adds another layer. And I definitely think we got turned around because they were upset at us for being slow, and we were just like trying to set up the rest of the game because that's what you do with a control deck. Our turn, so we're actually gonna Omen here, and we still have negates open. The vision's great, land is good. Land can go on top, so we pull it and can play it. Our turn. Discarding land. They're not even playing their land anymore. They are literally roping us. I love it. They need more love, you guys. Even more love. Even more love. Let's pour on the love. I'm sure we've been muted by now. But, you know. In chat, we have people that rope on Arena are the heathens that microwave their bacon. LOL. And it's funny because when I read this, it's like, I could go for some microwaved bacon right now. Any kind of bacon would do for this kid. Let's hit for 3. Bingo, bango, bongo. Right? That's how the song goes. We hold up our counterspell if not. There's just so many different things we can do, which is great. We have 5, so I think we're going to play our vision, take the draw, pull another counterspell so they can see it. And, yeah. What's awesome is that they're actually choosing to spend their time doing this. Right? Very good stuff. Bleep, bloop, blop. And we can report this guy if we wanted. If anybody's ever roping you and you're that upset with it, report a bug, capture your log first, and then contact support, and then you just send support your log, and they'll look at it, and they'll be like, yep, that guy was being absolutely awesome. And they'll add something to his profile, right? And if that continues to be a problem with this individual, then, actions are taken. So, it's not like these people just get free reign and get to exist without consequence. If you do take the time to go, report a bug, capture log, and then it pops up right here, easy peasy. And then you just click the contact support to report the player. And, we're sitting at a really, really groovy win rate. All right, I had fun today. We're just trying to make jokes, and it turns out that the deck is banging. 75% in Mythic is great, albeit we had a couple free matches there, but people are intimidated by the Sharks. It just happens to be it. Factual evidence been proven. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. I hope you had a fun day watching this video. Go enjoy another if you're into the mood still, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to a friend. Take care.